Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Coffee Corner. Today is your episode 61. Um I I this is why I don't do videos more often is I take Bob to a kind of park ish place and there are a lot of people and then my whole weekend will be full of socializing activities because of him. Uh, this social butterfly, and he's outside enjoying the sun, so he doesn't want to stay with me here. Anyway, because of that, I feel like I've done a lot of talking in my whole life. If I talk too much, then I feel drained. If I feel drained, then I don't want to talk anymore. So if I have time, I would rather just enjoy the time being quiet. And this is why I don't do videos too often now. Anyway, so this week, no, since last week, I've been very proud of myself handling difficult situations and difficult people. So I thought it would be really nice to share that with you guys, how to handle or how to deal with difficult people. The funny thing is, I look or I sound like a very calm person. So you probably would think my temper will be pretty, good. But I am very short tempered and I don't have patience and I tend to get mad very often uh, at a lot of things. So I noticed that when I talk to people and when I can't get answers from them, or when I'm trying to deal with other people about certain things and I can't get what I want, then I tend to lose my patience, and then I will get into that kind of scenario that I want to win the argument, which is really bad. And it is really bad. You would never want to win something when there's a conversation or argument. What you want to do is to get what you want. That's the goal, right? But sometimes when you are in the middle of the fight or anything, that you just totally forget about your purpose. When it comes to deal with the difficult people, no, when it comes to dealing with difficult people, I found this. If you talk slowly and if you do not argue and if you sound very calm, you are winning. It's really funny. I noticed that I always, not always, I tend to raise up my voice when I argue. And then I thought if my voice is over your voice, and then of course you will listen to me. But that is wrong strategy. Well, it could be something very common sense, and you'll be like, of course I know that. And then, well, to me, it was not common sense. I didn't know that, and I really learned that lesson the hard way. So now here I come. So when I talk to one of my students, he is very difficult to handle. It's not like he is not good. He's a good person. He's very demanding and he knows what he wants, and he's always not happy when he can't get it. It sounds like me. And when he talks, because of the language barriers, and when he talks, there is a lack of politeness. It sounds very direct and demanding, and it doesn't sound like I'm asking for help. That sometimes can kind of piss me off. But again, I'm an ESL teacher. I understand the situation. I understand why they have that kind of tone when they talk or attitude when they talk. They just don't know. And plus, you have different cultures, and different cultures have a different way to express ideas. And we definitely have totally different cultures. So when he said something about his benchmarking levels and things like that, I was trying so hard to explain things, but he would not let me. He will really argue. And plus, he couldn't explain clearly, and I didn't get it what he wanted. So I was trying my best to say, this is how I understand it. Let me interpret it to you, see if I am understanding you right or correctly. And he just would not let me. And then he started to argue. So what I did was to just sit back and look at him. And he was going on and on and on and on. And then eventually he finished and he looked at me and he said, "You understand what I want?" I'm like, "Well, I'm glad I know you. Otherwise, when the moment you said that words, I will be really, really pissed." I said I didn't quite understand what you want, but I'm trying my best to figure that out. How about we will put off put off this topic, and then we'll all both take a break, and then let me ask someone else, and I'll get back to you. So if I were old me, what I would do is I will keep arguing with him. I will try my best and to talk about things from my perspective. I don't know why I'm always very stubborn. I'm very stubborn when it comes to certain things. Here's something that I really believe in, and I want that happen. That's me. But now I'm more like, well, this is work, right? So nothing personal, and never take anything personally at work. You do it right. You need help, go ask for help. If you can't handle it, then don't handle it. Don't overextend yourself. So that's what I learned, and it actually worked. So I said, okay, let's just take a break and let me talk to someone else. Then I reach out to my boss, which this is why I love my job right now. They are very supportive. They're totally on the side of mine. So they will ask me my opinions about how I would want to handle the student. And there are some solutions they offer to me, potential solutions. So what do you think? Then I will figure out. They would never turn their back against you, or they would never sabotage you, which is really good. Not like the one I had before. And if you are trying to follow rules, policies, or whatever regulations they have there, and then they will turn their back on you and then say, well, how about we give, and then you will always be the bad person. So they're good cop, I'm the bad cop. So it's always like that. But here they want you to be the good one, and they even say if he doesn't want to believe you, or he's not convinced by you, you can just blame everything on us. I'm like, I can't blame my boss for that, but that's what I was told, and I was really, really happy. I put off that argument and went to my boss for help, and then they were able to really support me, and I handled that situation really well. And today the student called me and said, thank you so much for doing that for me, and I'm very happy, and I wish you could be my teacher forever, or things like that. So I always assume that will be a very difficult situation, and I'm always trying to, which is stupid. I'm always trying to get myself worked up for that student or for the situation. I'll be ready to fight before there's even a fight. Don't ever do that, but I always do it. I will picture, or I will imagine there's a scenario that we're gonna fight, and this is what I'm gonna say. That will really work yourself up. Don't do that. Another situation is I forgot. Also, is like what I said before. I have OCPD, obsessive compulsive personality disorder. I like follow rules. I like to follow rules. If there is a rule, you just go follow it. Yeah, I like it. And the school will support you because this is what it is. So it is what it is. So for that student, she missed a lot of classes in my class. And I like her. I always do my best to help my female students. I know how difficult life is for them because they have to take care of all the kids, and they have to take care of the family and everything. So they are basically doing everything, and also coming to school doing work. So for them, I will always do my best to help them, to support them. But this student, because she missed so many classes, and I just could not even cover for her. So my lead reached out to me saying that the student has missed so many classes, we'll have to remove her. So of course we talked about this, and they all have a very, not bad habit, but definitely not good habit. They do not check their email. So in Western cultures, email is the major communication approach, method, or means, you would say that. So almost every business conversation should be done via email. And even with the school here, we will ask the students to check their school emails very often. If there is something important to you, you're gonna have to check the information and respond to the email right away. But they always don't do that because in their culture they don't have that kind of thing. So I sent a final automatum to her and said, this is a warning, last warning of your attendance. Please respond as soon as possible so we can figure out a plan for you. And of course, she didn't respond until 2 days later and say, I'm surprised you kicked me out of the class. And I almost said, I'm not surprised because you have missed so many classes and you never responded to my email. So anyway, I did not remove her from the class. It's this is not my job, so it's my lead would do that. So my lead would be doing those kind of things. So that's why. So I can only I can fully focus on teaching. This is amazing. Anyway, so she was really trying to argue with me about doing a test on that day because they need a test to pass certain level benchmark. She was arguing so hard. I said, I cannot let you do that because you're not in my class. And then even if you do it, it's not going to be valid. And then she just said, oh, you let me do it first. Once the lead says yes, then you can count that one. I said, I cannot let you do that because you are not. So I explained that very clearly and many times that you just cannot do it. And then she wouldn't let go of it. And then she will say, no, let me do it. And then she'll be like, here are the excuses. And I only need two to get through so I can move up to another level. And I said, I understand you need two tests, but what you need doesn't affect how I make this decision and how this situation would turn out. And of course, she didn't like it and she was still trying to argue, even though the lead had emailed her about why she could not attend the test. And then she was 30 minutes later, she was still emailing me. She wanted to attend the test. So trying to bend the rule might be part of her culture. People don't really follow rules, and if you really ask, they will just eventually say yes or something like that. Anyway, so I didn't see the email from my lead first, so I wrote an email and explained everything and why she could not attend the test, and then returned to my inbox and saw my lead's email, and she said almost exact same words. I am like, this is why. And I sent an email saying, oh my God, I love you. And then she said, I'm always on your side. So that makes me very happy. So for that matter, I started to believe that if this is what I believe in, I should stick to my plan and work on that. Focus on myself. Don't get affected or influenced by something else. Don't overthink. Because you have a good boss, they support you. They will never let you doubt yourself. And that is why good working environment is very important, because you want that good vibe and then you can work better. So anyway, I thought I handled that situation very well as well. And I gained confidence because I had the support from them. And now I start to believe in myself that I'm able to handle a lot of situations well. Of course, sometimes I will be a little bit impulsive about certain things. But now I'm trying to tell myself, anytime when I receive impolite emails or when I receive ridiculous requests, I will take a step back and think about it, or even just go for a walk, or grab a coffee or something, drink, relax, calm down, and then come back and then rethink about the situation or case, and then think about if I have any other way to handle that well. So that's why I'm very happy about it. Then I'm thinking about, of course, back to our dealing with difficult people, is you have to think about the person you are dealing with. What kind of personality do you know that? Is this person like they tend to argue a lot, or this person tend to be like very quiet? So you have hot arguments and you have cold arguments. So when you have hot arguments, what you want to do is you want to take a step back and then let the person finish what they want to say, because you need to give a chance to them to let them vent out how they feel or what they want to say. That is very important. Once that emotion or feelings are out, and they will eventually get themselves together and then regather and then start to talk about the core problem. But if you keep interrupting them, they will always get mad and they will feel very irritated. And then they will get even more mad when you start to talk, because it will be like, you will never give me a chance to let me finish my sentence, right? So that's called leveling up the argument. So you never want that. So for the hot argument, what you want to do is to just step away. Yeah, take a step back, or let them finish, and then you join in and try your best to offer solutions. But don't get mad or don't work yourself up for that situation. always remember sometimes it is really just not a personal thing. It might sound very personal, but it is not. If you have person like people refuse to talk, they always turn to be very quiet or very passive when things happen, then for that matter, I think it's more difficult for me to handle because I don't know how to get people open their mouths and start to talk. So that might be a little bit, you have to work on some technical strategies. But for me, I haven't seen that kind of students or people yet. I'm more like that kind of person. But if you do have people who tend to be very quiet when there are problems, what you want to do is give them a little bit space first, and then try to understand the situation from their perspective. So show some sympathy, and maybe you can resonate with them, right? Even though you don't have similar experience, but you can definitely resonate with them, in matters of, let's say, feelings, emotions, or similar experience you heard from other people, and then that will more likely get them talk. So that is my strategy about how to handle those two difficult situations and people. Other than that, I'm very happy about my week. I do have a lot of things to say, but I forgot what I wanted to say for next video. I don't know if you're interested about my poor life when I first came to Canada, what kind of jobs I've done, and what kind of my life was that when I first came here. So let me know if you're interested. If you're not, that's totally fine. But if you yes, so I will think about how to make a content about it. Yeah, I think that would be interesting. By the way, I worked at a Chinese restaurant. That's it. Okay, that's the topic for today. Hope you like it. Hopefully, I wasn't too fast, and I know I might sound a little bit out of breath. I will apologize for that. Not the best of my video, but thank you for putting up with it. Anyway, so I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye. Oh, wait a second. For someone who's new here, I do have podcasts. So if you go to Google or search for Base Coffee Corner, you probably will find me on all kinds of podcast platforms. So try that. Okay, that's it. Yes. Bye. See you. Bye. Come here. Yeah.